2 bits of Bernie news, by the way. BernieSanders.com is his website. He just issued a news release today because of the Supreme Court's decision to protect the modest gains made under the Affordable Care Act. It's a good day for millions of Americans who will be able to keep their access to health care. He said, while I'm glad the Supreme Court upheld the law, in my view, the only long-term solution to America's health care crisis is a Medicare for all single-payer system. He says, I start my approach with 2 simple premises. Number 1, health care must be recognized as a right, not a privilege. Every man, woman, and child in our country should be able to access quality care regardless of their income. And number 2, we must create a national system to provide care for every single American in the most cost-effective way possible. And then Senator Sanders adds, tragically, the United States fails in both areas. The health insurance lobbyists and big pharmaceutical companies should make national health care sound scary. It's not. In fact, a large single-payer system already exists in the United States. It's called Medicare. And you know, he goes on from there. The other thing is, I got an email from Americans for Tax Fairness, and they, along with 40 other national organizations, have just endorsed a piece of legislation that Senator Sanders is introducing today into the United States Senate called the Responsible Estate Tax Act. So that, you know, when the Walton heirs die and when the Koch brothers die, you know, their heirs will get a little bit less. I mean, you've got $100 billion, you know, you can do fine with a little less than that. So he says, while the top estate tax today is 40%, after exemptions and loopholes, the average tax rate paid is just 17%, according to the Tax Policy Center. President Obama has proposed a top estate tax rate of 45%. Anyhow, it goes on. So here's where it gets interesting. Bill Maher, one of my favorite comedians and political commentators, I mean, he's really become both. Bill Maher had both Bernie Sanders and Ann Coulter on his program last Friday. And in the extended segment, this did not happen on the air, but it's over at the website for HBO. You can watch it. You know, they have this extended segment of that's just on the internet. Something that we should think about doing, by the way. I think that would be really cool. But in any case, they have this extended segment, and Bill Maher gets into a rather serious conversation with Ann Coulter about who could win the presidency. And she comes to a very, very startling conclusion. This is just the two of them talking in the, you know, in the after section. Here it is. You know, this is from HBO on demand.
Scott Walker, would you say?
Of the ones who aren't declared, no, Romney Walker's my ticket.
Romney Walker. So, but last time you said if we nominate Romney, we'll definitely lose.
And I was right, but
well, why will he win this?
That was 2
third
years
time's the
in
charm?
advance, and it was because actually it was third time was the charm for Reagan.
Right.
It was because it's very hard to take out an incumbent, and the reason I supported Christie back then, and I don't now, was because, you know, he's so flashy and idiosyncratic that we probably were going to lose, but the only shot we had was this wild, idiosyncratic guy. I think Romney would crush Hillary.
I would do anything for
Though
Trump.
if you ran,
Trump Christie.
If you ran Bernie Sanders, it would be much tougher.
Bernie Sanders?
It would be much tougher to beat him than Hillary.
You think would be a better candidate than Hillary?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean,
because he would excite the base.
The American middle class, working class. Hillary doesn't. She's like the elected Republican. She cares about the Chamber of Commerce.
There you go. Ann Coulter telling Bill Maher, seriously, not joking, that she thinks that a Romney Walker ticket would be the ideal Republican ticket. And I suspect, frankly, that she's right. Scott Walker's got the, you know, he brings along the Koch brothers and the billions, you know, of dollars, and you know, just to spend on an election. And Mitt Romney, I think, has, you know, he's got some street cred now. He lost, and she's you know, she said, you know, Reagan tried 3 times, finally won. The possibility of Romney is the same, and I think Romney could really give Hillary Clinton a run for her money. And a lot of Americans would just kind of tune out. They go, okay, you know, rich guy versus rich woman, and, you know, blah, 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 blah. Wall Street versus Wall Street. But I think that she's right. I don't think that Mitt Romney and Scott Walker could beat Bernie Sanders. I really don't. And it's amazing to be in agreement with Ann Coulter on anything. But anyway.